Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for another mission briefing. And Jason, thank you for the raid. What? Awesome. So glad to have you all here. It is, oh yeah, it's much appreciated.
Oh yeah, Stream Deck. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
gotta love it. Gotta add them sounds. We're having slight delays with Kyle and his audio, but I think it's starting to resolve itself. Let's see. Let's do a test, Kyle.
I think I'm good, but if you guys see me start doing some awkward like head moving around or like waving my hands, just know it's not working.
It's still a little off because it's like off by like a second or two. Let's see what happens. We'll see how this goes.
I'll just keep doing
Yeah.
this all the time.
Yeah, just cover your face, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah. All right. So look,
Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my mouth. Yeah. All right. So thank you, folks, for joining us. Sorry for the hella weird intro, but here we are to talk about caching strategies for federated graphs. So Kyle, good friend, we've gotten to know each other quite well over the last few months. Works at StockX. Yes. Kyle, do you want to take a second to introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about what you do at StockX?
Yeah. So as Kurt said, my name's Kyle. I'm an engineer on the Edge team at StockX. If you don't know what StockX is, we are a live bidding and asking system for any type of goods that are verifiable and scarce. Go to the site; it'll make a lot more sense. But on the Edge team, we facilitate a lot of the talking between front ends and back ends, and GraphQL is kind of a perfect match for that. And we've been working with it for about 18 months now? No, wait, almost a year, because Black Friday last year we kind of like YOLO'd it into production, which is super scary. Don't do that if you're an e-commerce site. Don't YOLO things into production on Black Friday.
What? What do
Um,
you mean? What could go
uh,
wrong?
it was. We'll come back to this in a second. I'll finish with a few more things, and we'll come back to it because it's actually a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
story. Um, but we run. I think we're up to like 16 federations in production now. We started with like 3. We get about what was the last time I looked? We get about 3 million requests a day, and I guarantee you it's gone up from then. That was like a month or 2 ago, and it's been enormous. We're re-rolling some stuff out soon that should have some massive performance increases. But yeah, GraphQL is awesome. We sit there and do that. We're slowly starting to teach more and more people how to interact with it, and just building a nice little garden at StockX of
I
GraphQL.
love it. A
Um,
garden, a GraphQL garden. Yes, I love it. Amazing. Oh, yeah, but go
um,
back to the story though.
yeah, yeah. Will Getty's my old engineering manager. He moved on to start his own company now. Um, we were writing over our home screen for switching from REST to GraphQL, all of the fun stuff that
Yeah,
comes with that, and we put it out like week before Black Friday behind a feature flag. We're like, we don't know if it's gonna work, so we're not gonna turn it on. Maybe to 5% of users. We'll do some slow rollout type
for sure.
stuff. And then we're like, okay, cool, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Black Friday comes, massive increase in traffic. It's like a 4x of what normal resting states are for us on just a normal like Friday afternoon. And we start noticing like our old home screen starting to have problems with just the load that we put on it. We're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, like this isn't good. So we took that 5% that we were sending and we went to 15% and started performing better. And our old home screen still started to have problems. And we started rolling it up and turning it up. By the end of the day, we had like 5% of traffic on the newer version of home screen with GraphQL, and it was performing perfectly fine on like the biggest day of the year. And we're just like, wait, did this just work? Like, are we okay here? Like, but yeah, so that was awesome to see
That's
last year.
cool.
And that kind of catapulted us of using GraphQL. Like, we proved on the biggest day of the year it's reliable enough to feed traffic, which was awesome.
That's really cool. My
So,
my first experience getting GraphQL into production was not as smooth, I have to say. It was pretty rough. It was back at Major League Soccer, and it was like what they had. They have what's called like tentpole events, which are like just really big days, basically the Black Friday of soccer. And day one, we did some load testing, but we just weren't expecting the numbers that we got. And we hit some issues, and I had to do some real quick on the fly debugging, no pressure, in production, figuring out. I added a caching layer within our GraphQL service in like a day. It was the worst day of my life. It was slightly buggy, but it got the job done. Yeah, we made it through, and then we had a week to kind of go back and fine tune it, and we were good for our biggest day, and it was awesome. But yeah, it was interesting.
Nice. And I forgot I brought up Will's name, then I didn't
Oh,
finish why I
yeah.
brought up his name. Yeah, I should probably do that instead of just name dropping people and then just letting them die in the ether. But Will was kind of like one of the biggest guys in that, and he sent this really, really nicely crafted email of like, you know, we haven't tested it, we haven't done all these things, we don't know how safe it's gonna be. And then like all of it, like it was like 2 pages, and the first page and a half of this email was just like, you shouldn't do this. And then the last like 50% of the email was just like, but if not now, when? Go for it. We're trying it. Go
Yeah,
for it. I hope
I
this
love
works.
it.
And you're just like, you just gave us like a page and a half of reasons why not to do this, and then you just said go for it anyways. It was like doing, but again, it worked out better. So it's just like one of those things of like, oh no. So
Yeah, that is amazing. Amazing. And it's great that when that happens and it works out, and it's just like a testament to one, the importance of caching. I imagine that y'all had really good caching in place. We did not have as good a caching as we needed in place, which is really ironic because that's what we're talking about today. So yeah, kind of fits pretty darn well. Yeah, so maybe let's tell folks what it is exactly that we are gonna do today. So I am not an expert in federation or caching, federated GraphQL APIs by any means. I know, surprise, surprise, to hear I'm not an expert in something. I know, let it sink in, let it sink in. But no, for real. But Kyle here, having plenty of experience, is going to educate me and us today on what that looks like. So I'm super excited for that. And as we like to do, we're gonna work with the code and actually spin up some APIs. Is that pretty good estimation? And then we're gonna add some cache to it. Does that sound legit? Too
yeah,
legit? All right.
I mean, yeah. The one thing to make sure though is, and I was talking with Khalil about this a little bit, just to level set. This is only going to be within the GraphQL layer. So there's things you can do
Yes.
like client side caching. You can cache on the back end. You can do preserved or it's like preserved queries. I can't remember the
Oh,
exact name.
persisted
Persisted
queries.
queries.
Yeah.
You can do that. Like there's a bunch of other ways you can do this. They all work. They're like there's not a problem with any of them. We're just gonna stick to being inside GraphQL, kind of that that thing that you can control inside of it, because you can't necessarily control how your client works. Maybe
Yeah.
you can't control how your backend works, but you can control GraphQL.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's perfect. And I mean, there's a million, like you said, a million ways to cache things. But yeah, we're gonna focus specifically on the GraphQL part and really in relation to federated graphs. And so I'm gonna roll it back a little bit. Oh, and we're gonna first focus on what is a federated graph. So if you're coming here and you're not really familiar with a federated graph, essentially it is taking multiple GraphQL services you could consider almost like microservices, and it's about exposing one single GraphQL schema to your downstream clients. But this GraphQL kind of gateway knows how to interact with these other downstream services through custom directives and different types of arguments on those directives as far as figuring out what entities relate to what and where. Now, federation is kind of the step two. What came first was schema stitching, and schema stitching actually right now is getting a whole like revitalization thing. If you're interested, the guild is doing some work on this, but the difference here is going from imperative, which was schema stitching. It was joining things together at the code level, to back to declarative, which in my eyes is where GraphQL really shines, right? And taking all of that internal code and turning it out uh, into just like a single graph that folks can query. And this does a lot of things. And actually, since StockX is doing this, do you want to talk on some of the highlights? Like, what are some of the benefits y'all get by using federated GraphQL as opposed to like a monolithic GraphQL server?
Yeah, some of the biggest things that we get out of it is really just the ability to scale differently. So before, right, like if you have a monolithic GraphQL server and you need to scale because something's happening, you're scaling everything. And that may help out your case, but maybe not enough, right? Like if you have a home screen, like the example we had before when we were talking about Black Friday last year, we needed to scale like a home screen, right? Like we don't need to scale like you buying something or you viewing this one thing over in the corner. we need to scale like this one service in the middle. And having that, being able to scale just that has been awesome. You can just scale that piece of the
Yeah.
federation and really make that beefy while the other stuff is still there. But you're not, kind of blowing money in the corner.
Yeah.
Um, Another huge part of it, just like every other microservice, you've made a great point of it's like going from a monolith to a microservice is the same thing with that is we don't have like code interacting everywhere anymore. So like if you're talking about a product, you only have context for a product. You don't have context of like who's this person over in the corner. Like it allows you to segment your code off way, way, way nicer.
Yeah. Yeah. That your timing is off again. Like it got worse again.
I
What
noticed
is going on?
I'm gonna I don't know. Let me open my terminal up, see if it's still just destroying.
Actually, I'm curious to see what's going on my side. I'm going to take a look real quick too, because it could be on my side. So I'm opening up activity monitor and yeah, no. I mean, oh, Skype, yeah.
Is Apple destroying us
No,
again?
it's not Apple, but Skype is like really high on. I wonder what is going on. So you know what's really interesting is like ever since but all jokes aside, they did their announcement, they released Big Sur. It's like they're almost forcing me to update. Because the computer has not been working as well. I've been having issues ever since that day. And it's mind-boggling to me. But yeah, at least it's not like Launchpad where we basically shut down everything. I couldn't do anything. But yeah, one of us. Yes, I know, right? Ugh. All right, so let's see. Y'all are too funny. I can't even. All right. Okay, so you know what? Let's get started. We'll see what happens with the audio. Worst case is you just have to go like this the whole time, like we said before. See, because now you don't know if I'm synced up or not, right? And it's also probably, just like safer. There we go.
I feel like I should do like a Bane type like
Yes.
screaming. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm close. I'm close to being synced.
You merely adopted Federation. I was born into it.
Yeah, halfway there.
All right.
Yeah, do you want to just hop
Yes,
into this?
let's do it because I'm excited. And as much as I love talking about GraphQL, I like working with it a lot more. So let's do it. So I think you've already created a GitHub repo, right? Like as a starting base for this. Is this correct?
Yeah, so I just threw together a little something, and it really just has the objects from the Apollo Federation demo, and just moved into a backend Express service.
Perfect.
I'll send that to you, and I'll post.
Yeah,
it
post it in
well.
Twitch chat. Boom.
They probably like it's super delayed, so it's probably like a nice like delay of me posting this and like what is this?
And it's actually
Give it a second,
a
guys.
lot closer now. It's like, oh, and then you just sped up and talked real fast, and now I can't hear you at all.
I'm not talking.
Perfect. Okay. Thank gosh. Yeah. So as you can see here, from the README, it has a title. But let's go look at the codes because I had that flattened up, right? So we've got distributed backend service. This all looks good. Let's get this on my computer. So let's do this. I'm gonna pop open the terminal. So actually, Kyle, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try and avoid sharing my screen until necessary to see if that helps with Skype not crapping the bed, and then we'll go from there. But so I'm just gonna clone the project first and get it into VS Code, and we'll start from there. Boop, 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 boop. Let's make this large. Porgex, got a CD into Porgex. Projects. Kurt Kemple. Git clone. And then what is this called? Apollo. Yeah, there's not going to be a collision. Cool. CD, Apollo Fed, boom, code it up. And
this like non-copyright music is changing so fast, but I kind of dig this one. Like hip-hop elevator music.
Yeah, it's nice. I really like this a lot. Let's bring this over here. And I'm gonna size it up. Actually, I have a button I could have used to do that. Okay, and then the next thing is, let's see what happens when I live share this. Hopefully this works well. Let's close this. Let's open up a file. Go under, distributed backends. Got an index file. All right, so it's copied to clipboard. I'm gonna drop this in Skype. Let's see if this works.
Fingers crossed.
If I can even find the window. at. All right, there we go. See if you can join that. See how that goes. And while we do that, I'm gonna switch over to desktop so everyone can see kind of what's going on here. Boom. So I've got this project cloned. We are inside of VS Code. We're cooking. We've got ready to rock and roll. Let me make this slightly bigger as well. Boop. There we go. It should be legible for all the folks at home. All right, cool. So yeah, let me know if you're able to join because it still hasn't said that you've joined. Hopefully it will let you. But while you spin, I'm going to take a quick look at what we got here. So we've got our backend service. We've got some users. We've got some products. We've got reviews. I love it. And then, oh, demo logger. Look at this. Did you add this or was that part of the project?
To make it nice and easy for the next person, like so we can show a console and show like, hey, we're actually getting to backend services or we're not. It'll log out every time it gets a request and that stuff.
Nice. I love it. Cool. And so then you've already set up some routes. Here we go. And we've got our app.listen. So this is good. So, I mean, like, in all honesty, let's get a terminal going. And we could spin this up. I don't see why not, right? Oh, I'm going to need to run Docker, aren't I?
For when we get to the distributed part, yeah. But, in, the nice building blocks before that, we should be fine.
Cool. Yeah, we should be fine with Docker anyway. It's just like, I don't know what's going on with Skype. Although you seem to be doing a bit better now.
I'm getting closer. I had to close VS Code twice. So we're getting there.
My goodness. Yay. Did it make you log in too? Because it always makes me log in like 30 times. Although I still would not trade live share for anything. Have y'all checked out GitHub Code Spaces yet?
I want to try that. It looks pretty cool.
It is. It's really cool. It's awesome. I was writing code on my daughter's Chromebook. Very cool. Fun experience. Yeah, it just gets weird though because they don't take control of like a lot of the keyboard shortcuts. So like if you do Command S, it tries to save the page as HTML and like some other stuff. But it just takes like getting used to. And I don't know, like that's an interesting question. Do y'all prefer in like when you're working in like an IDE, like Code Sandbox or something, do you want it to take over the common, browser shortcuts and do VS Code-y type things? I know I do, but yeah. So it's still not letting you join. Should I retry?
No, you're good. My VS Code for some reason just stopped working. So I'm like sitting here trying to frantically make it work again.
Got it.
But here, if you want, we can start going through it and I can just walk you through a few of the things.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so we have our backend service, so let's start, a federation here. So if you just make a new file in there.
In backend service or in distributed? Where should I put this?
I'd make a new folder and we'll just call it federation, and then we'll move into distributed in a little bit.
Got it.
Once we finally get there.
Okay, so I got federation, and I'm gonna make like a new index.js.
Done. 1 second, sorry, I just got linked to like 7 different things for setting to VS Code. Yeah, there we go. So if you we need a new. Wish I could sign in right now. We're gonna need Apollo server. So.
All right, let's install some stuff.
We're getting there slowly. My computer's, trying to take off, but it's not there yet.
No worries. Boom. So, yarn is not found because I switched to a new version.
Ooh.
No, this is cool. I'm gonna add it now. Boom. So while that's going, wow, that was really fast. So now I can. I use NVM. Switched to a new version of Node, and when you do that, you have to reinstall your globals unless there's some way to like map them that I'm unaware of. But yeah. So anyway, I already did that, and now I'm installing that, which is always my excuse to. Oh my god, I didn't even get a chance to play elevator music. It's already done. What the heck?
Isn't that a good thing though? Like, why are you angry?
No, it's a great thing. But I mean, it's a missed opportunity to play elevator music. I'm always mad. I'm just gonna do it anyway because I like it. So, and we could do it while you try to join VS Code.
Oh, we might be here all day.
Yo, actually, let me try sharing my screen with you. And then we could probably just work from that for now. I think that's probably the best route. Let's see what happens, folks. Who wants to place bets on whether or not my computer crashes when I do this? I have the most beefiest computer too, so better hold up. We love some elevator music, said no one. Hey now. Hey.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Close. Nope, still loading. Ah, so close.
Hey, it says you joined.
I'm glad yours says that and mine doesn't. Like, that makes it so much better. Oh, hey, we're there.
Stop lying to
we're
me.
actually there, finally.
Stop
Hey, man, yours
lying.
showed up first.
That's hilarious. All right, so you're in, right? You're in our best hacker voice. I'm in. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if I need to keep sharing, but yeah, we're already here. Let's just keep the ball rolling. Let's keep the party going. Yeah, we're in the mainframe. Exactly. Oh, how bad do you wish that you could view file systems in 3D like in Hackers? How ridiculous is that? Where it's like the files are like basically buildings. It's like in the 3D world.
You can do Jarvis and like touch it. Like that'd
Yeah.
be so much fun.
Oh yeah, like some Oculus stuff here. Or what are the augmented reality goggles that Microsoft has?
Oh. No, Valve has some where it's like finger based, where like you can curl individual fingers.
Ooh, that's tricky. Now we're getting into like, yeah, like the Jarvis / Minority Report thing.
Gotta admit though, that would be pretty awesome.
It would be awesome, but how would you stream that? Yeah.
I'm guessing you would just like broadcast the VR, right? Like I feel like that's the only way you could do it.
Yeah, broadcast the VR. Actually, people already do that. So yeah, I guess that's exactly how you would do it. Hey.
We made it, Kurt. We finally made it.
No, stop. Working on visualizing Neo4j GraphQL in VR. Oh, yeah, Michael, that'd be amazing. I want to see that. I would love to see that because that's actually something that I've always said is like graphs are kind of like the perfect thing to view in like a 3D space because you can't really in a 2D space because then it's a tree. So you have to convert it from a graph to a tree. And so, yeah, well, kind of. Or like I mean, you could do it with the lines, but I don't know. I thought it'd be really cool to like see it in 3D. Like, what if you were, hey, you're typing yarn add.
I'm trying. You didn't share your console, so I can't just install this and then play elevator music. But
oh, well,
we're just gonna need other packages.
Yeah, I could absolutely just share the console. Let's do that. So boop, bitty boop, and then live share.
Stuck on red.
Make read write, and so we'll do this, and then I will still install those. Oh, it's doubled up. There we go.
I pasted. That's on me.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so we'll do that. While we're doing that, I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to make this one read write. So now you've got access to 2 terminals. Oh, I got to send you a sticker.
I get stickers?
Yeah, I got to send you a sticker because every time someone comes on the stream and I share terminal access with them, they get a sticker. Come on, focus. Real friends share terminals. So I'll send you one of these. Yeah.
So while you're doing that, I'm just setting up a gateway on the other side. All it is you just need basically 2 things running, and paste that in from the blog post support thing I put together.
Whoa, where did this come from?
It's fancy.
I'm following you.
Actually, it's not. It's really just copied from the Apollo Federation demo. So don't think it's anything crazy. The only thing that we did add is there's a line in server that basically logs out like, hey, you hit the gateway. That's all. It's different.
Got it. So I created this index.js. Do we not need this? Should I be getting rid of this or keep it?
Nope, we're going to need that because we need to create a federation still. We've just made the gateway that can talk with that federation.
Okay.
So you still need to make the federation.
So let's roll this back for folks who are viewing who might not like be, familiar with federations. So Apollo Gateway essentially is like when you create a federated graph, you use the gateway to connect your services. It's at least like creating the service list. So if we look here at lines 10 through 13, this is essentially saying, hey, these are the different like GraphQL APIs we're going to talk to. And then this is where you can find them. And so here you can see that we're configuring it for localhost port 4001 and port 4003. But these could be resources, that you could talk to literally anywhere. Anywhere. So yeah, okay. So we've got that. And what is this expose query plan experimental? False.
Yeah. So they set up a experimental playground. Apollo did a while back, and it would expose your query plan. They just recommend you turning this off while you're running it locally. At the time, it just wasn't supported well, so it would cause a few errors every now and then. So
Makes sense.
I recommend you turn it off.
Makes sense. Exit replicant says services talk to Klingon Federation. Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna jump back. Actually, so this is the gateway. Yeah, so this is what has set up the gateway. So now what we need is an index. What are we gonna do here? What happens inside of this file?
Yeah. So the nice thing about any real GraphQL federation is it looks almost exactly like a normal GraphQL server with just a few little caveats, like minor ones. So let's take, and we're gonna start by, I'm trying to type on your screen share. That's what I get.
That's amazing.
So we're gonna, oh wow, my TypeScript days are making this so much worse.
Oh, we can do, if you want import support, we can add that real quick with the ESM module. All right. I learned a neat trick from Trevor Blades on how to do that without like having to inject stuff into your code. You could do like require modules in your start command. So you can like require ESM and then everything will just work. You can imports and stuff. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
Look, you went const from.
Oh, bro. I'm going back. I haven't wrote like actual JavaScript.
Yes.
In probably close to a year. Our entire code base is in TypeScript.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of those things of like, how do I JavaScript again?
Yeah, and it's
what am I doing?
And it's like not even if you take TypeScript out of it, it's like, and what even is real JavaScript anymore? Because like with ESM support in like the browser, but like not in Node really, but then in Dino, and it's just like other places, but like it is supported some places, but then not others. So it's really interesting. Davey Busanello, thank you for the follow. Thanks for joining us. It's wild to say the least. It's just like it's all over the place. All right, so we've got this. Excellent replicate. Thank you for the follow. I love it. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Are you seeing follows? Is that not popping up on the overlay? I'm just curious because I broke everything a while ago, and I'm not sure I fixed it.
You're asking the wrong person here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm asking the stream. Don't worry, I was asking you. Oh, cool. They're there. Perfect. So we're gonna need Axios. So I should add that, right?
Oh, I already beat you to it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Do you want to do this Node Cache one? It's called Node Cache.
Yeah, I could do that. Node dash cache or just okay.
No, there's a dash.
There is.
Yeah. Bam. Auto formatter kicked in.
Boom. That's fine. All right, I added it. Well, these packages are installing like extra fast.
We'll come back to this one. Give me like 2 seconds to just finish off all
2 seconds.
The import statements I'm gonna need.
Starting the timer now.
Oh, come on. No autocomplete? There we go.
Yay.
Bam.
Oh, that.
So this is all the stuff we're gonna need.
Okay.
We're there.
All right, so we're there. So interesting question though is we have this gateway file, right? And in here we have const gateway, and then this is just spinning up and starting a gateway, and then Federation. This file doesn't actually need to import or anything. We're gonna point it at our gateway. Is that essentially what's going on?
Other way around. We're gonna point our gateway at this. On the bright side. So one of the things we've talked about for a long time is how do you make a public and a private graph? An easy way you can do that is you can just have two gateways that just connect to different sets of federations. And one becomes your public gateway and only connects to certain federations. One becomes private and connects to all the federations you want. But yeah, it's gateways connect to federations, not federations connecting to gateways.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Okay. So we're going to, I probably once like see it, but like, yeah, you got me here. So we have gateway. This is a gateway. Like if I wanted to, I could start this. It could talk to both downstream services. That in itself essentially is a federated graph. So now
Yep.
we're adding a
Yep.
separate federated graph, and we're going to connect two federated graphs.
Almost.
Almost. You know what?
Almost.
Why don't I let you finish, and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Khalil, what's
So-
up? And
What's up, Khalil? So the gateway we're going to start up, right? It's going to connect to two services. It's going to connect to a product service and an inventory service. For simplicity's sake, instead of us running like, what was the other one? Instead of running something like Minikube or something like that and spinning up like a bunch of federated services and making this really painful, we're just going to use two different federations that make the same backend API call and just expose different parts of the data. Make our life-
oh, I see what's happening now. So, because we only technically have the one backend service, but it has routes for the individual things. So we're kind of fowing together microservices from one backend service. Now am I on it?
Yes.
Okay.
You're completely on it.
Okay.
Just for simplicity's sake. Normally in like, I was gonna get to this point later, but we'll talk about it now, is with the distributed cache, right? Like we can coagulate all of the caching values from all of the federation pods that you're running in production and just, kind of share that cache. But for us to do that, like we would have to stand up like Minikube, a deployment of Apollo Gateway, an Apollo Federation deployment. Like there's just a lot of like extra stuff that goes around that.
I got it.
Um,
I got it.
but we could just call the same endpoint and call it good.
Okay.
Yeah. So the gateway that you've seen on the other one is just spinning up a gateway saying, hey, go check these two endpoints for GraphQL stuff. And then from there, we go and we write the services. So this is going to be one of the services. This will probably be the product service just because it's the easiest one. And we can actually run the whole implementation without having a second federation and kind of watch what happens.
I like
it's
it.
actually kind of nice.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's check it out. I mean, you got my interest piqued. I got no idea what's going on. I love it.
So let's we'll skip the caching and we'll add that in as a next little step.
Yeah,
We'll make,
yeah.
make our schema. You guys all get to watch me type horribly. This is gonna be great on my mini keyboard that loves to give me the wrong keys.
That's awesome. I can't wait because now no one has to watch me type horribly, and I can just talk to the chat and make fun of your horrible typing instead.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
And
It's gonna be bad.
Khalil, yes, you are a meme now, and I hope you enjoy it because it's awesome. It's one of my favorite memes too. And y'all can meme us in the chat if you really want to. Oh, invalid meme. Oh no.
Oh, you're writing bad memes? What's going on?
I know. How dare I? Oh, I forgot about the groin shot meme. It takes forever for that to generate because it's a GIF, but it's funny.
Back in 402. Okay, make that. This music is just so cozy to code to.
I love this music. It's such a good playlist. It really is. Really gets you like in the zone.
What was the API products? That's what.
For folks interested, that is the playlist there. And so I'm waiting on my groin shot meme. If this one ever comes through. Shout out to Cloudinary for making all of our meme generation possible. Couldn't do it without you. Where's Dom when you need him? Demetrius. I'll probably miss it because I won't be looking, but I really want to see this meme pop up. It takes a long time to generate GIFs on the fly, FYI.
Okay, I'm doing shortcuts now.
Shortcuts.
I have, for full transparency, I wrote this for support of the blog post. like this entire thing multiple times in multiple different ways. So I'm just kind of stealing it from that on the side.
Love it. So going over what you have here so far. So we're creating our type def, which is essentially we're just going to have our queries. So I'm noticing here you're extending. This is new, right? This extend type query. This is not something that comes with GraphQL out the gate, so to speak. And this is an example of how federation works. So before I was talking about the difference between federation and schema stitching. Schema stitching is the imperative approach to joining APIs where it's at the code level. You investigate the type, you decide what you should be doing with it, and then you can formulate a response. Whereas at the flip side, federation takes the declarative approach. It says, nah, let's not mess with this at the code level, and instead let's do it declaratively. Let's add some stuff to the schema, some special directives, some special I don't even know what you would call this, keywords, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah, so now we can extend our type of query. So in other words, what will happen is in the final graph, if we did this with like 3 graphs, we have top products here, then maybe we had like, I don't know, top contributors or like ratings or like whatever, comments or something. All of those would be in the finalized schema under query. And so that's how we can kind of do that. And then for type product, we're saying here that the key field, the unique field that folks should use or that Federation will use, our API will use to figure out like what is the right ID or what is the right entity of that type. It will know to look on the UPC field. And so other schemas will be able to extend the type product or use the type product based off of this field. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you hit it all pretty much. Yeah, they're just keywords, and it's a fancy way of just kind of saying like, query's out there somewhere. I want to add something onto it, and then they're defining products in this one. If somebody wants to extend a product, they would do the same thing that you see with query, where they would extend type product, give it the same key, so the gateway knows, hey, they're talking about the same 2 fields. Stitch those together to bubble them out to the consumer of this graph as one graph.
Yeah.
So cool thing about this is we write all these little separate graphs, and then the gateway takes them into a client. It looks like it's just one graph. Like it looks like it's just like a monolithic normal GraphQL server like everything else. So that's kind of the beauty of this.
Nice. Yeah, and then
simple result.
Yeah, simple resolver. So we've got one resolver here. It's just our root query essentially. So this is just going to return our products. And again, so we're just creating multiple services, but they're all going to talk to the same existing API for simplicity's sake, instead of us spinning up 4 or 5 different backend services, all with like one line of code in them. Yeah, it should be top products. There. Yeah.
Nobody saw.
Yeah. I saw
that auto formatter. Oh, okay.
That work?
We're there.
Yeah, that works.
Close enough.
Unused label. Oh. This would be here.
Oh.
And then this. Right?
This is why you make the big money, Kurt.
Boom. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking. There we go. So we've got our query root object. So if you're not familiar with resolvers, the way it works is each type can have resolvers, but it's all flat at the root. So every type, in this case, query is a type. Now, let's say weight or price, or there was some other field that didn't resolve directly off of product. Then if we wanted to add something, we could also extend the product type with some resolvers if we needed to go fetch something like, whatever it may be. We don't need anything. Reviews, like let's say reviews was something that doesn't come back innately off of the results. We can create a resolver for that to go fetch it. All right, so we've got that. We've got our server. And then I like this. So we're console logging every time we hit the product federation. And then we've got our schema, and we're building a federated schema. So now this is important because this is different from what you would do in a normal GraphQL, or not a normal, but an unfederated GraphQL API, right?
Normal. Yeah, all it is just like basically like don't burn on the keywords. Like, right, like if you tried to spin up a normal GraphQL server and you put, extend as a keyword and you put it somewhere, it'll yell at you saying, "Hey, this isn't
I don't know what
normal."
this is.
So
Yeah. I don't know what
exactly.
this is. What are you doing?
So
What are you trying to tell me?
this just allows you to do that, and it doesn't burn itself to the ground. So
Love it.
yeah, and then starting a port, starting a server. So the nice part is we can run all this stuff now.
Okay. So
Should work.
So this is on port 401. So why don't we do this? So we're inside of Federation. We've got a package JSON, but I don't think we've really added any scripts. Why don't we do that real? Oops. Take care of that, just so we have something to actually start this up. And we go here and we'll say start. And then is it worth running? Should we install like NodeMon just so that we don't have to constantly restart these things? Do you think that's worthwhile or nah?
Yeah, that's probably worth it. We should probably get concurrently too.
Okay.
Just because, unless you want to run like 7 terminals. I mean, hey, maybe you're into that type of thing.
Not really,
Never
but
know,
it's
man.
fine. All right, so we need NodeMon and concurrently. Did I spell that right? Yeah. All right, so to start, we're going to say NodeMon, and then I don't know how to use concurrently. I'll let you take over from there. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've used that.
We want to do...
Oh, right. Concurrently would be first.
Yeah, and we're just going to do fancy commands here.
Fancy commands. Okay.
And of course, I typed it wrong already.
Ah.
Escape characters, always bad. Colon star. Oh. Yeah, colon star. That's what we want. Oh, one too many.
Okay.
So all this is going to do is we're just going to write a bunch of other start commands, and I'll just run yarn start, anything that starts with start colon. So
Love
like
it.
start, and then we can just do like the normal like nodemon /gate, right?
Okay.
And then copy this. And then we don't want gateway anymore. We want like products. And then this is just like, oh, I forgot my JS. That helps when you can spell JS too.
Yeah. Hey, I can't really spell anything, so I don't think my groin shot ever came through. I'm pretty sad.
You're scared about, I mean, you're sad about not having your like video of you getting hit in the groin coming through? What are you talking about here?
Kinda.
And then we want to do, we should start the backend service too, just to make our life easy.
Yeah. Yeah, let's start them all up. Start all the things.
Just make our life easy here. NodeMon, and then this is ..
Can we call it Bay instead of BE?
Sure. You want to call your backends Bay?
Yeah,
I mean,
I do.
Their own.
Bay.
Now this should be good, right? Oh, we're gonna get something, but it's worth letting it burn a little bit. And we'll just run yarn start.
I don't think it's saved. Hang on. Compare.
Okay, it's not saved either.
Yeah, what is going on here?
You might have. Oh, we're missing concurrently in here. So just copy all that, close it, reopen it.
Oh God, hang on. Yeah, let me get rid of that. Okay.
You have.
Completely broke because we installed stuff while we were changing package JSON.
No. Okay, we'll get it.
No, I got it here. So we just take this, Command X, cool. Get rid of this. Overwrite. Boop. Re-add it. Boop. That's just gonna add it to package JSON.
Did it add to you? Because mine still shows you having it open and no concurrently.
No, so here we go.
Oh, there.
Yep, so there we go. Paste that back in. Boop. There we go. We good. We good.
Now we try to start again.
Now we start.
Oh, not adding concurrently. We already did that. There we go. Yarn start. Let's see.
Yes, failures.
Oh, cool.
NodeMon. Oh, now it's saying NodeMon isn't found. Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh.
Hey, we're closer. We're so
Yeah,
close.
I swear this is really about caching. Just give us a minute.
You're just missing the whole elevator music, right?
Yeah, that was my opportunity. Another missed opportunity. Boom. So we're close,
Hey.
but we got it.
Oh,
I think,
we were so close.
yeah, we're very close. Let's take a look at what the error was, though, for folks.
Uh,
Type defs is not defined inside of Federation index.js.
what?
So I think we like call
Oh,
type defs type def.
oh yeah, I have an S. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
we're getting there. We made it.
All right.
And we're missing to do a yarn install in the other place too. Now we can try. We'll get there.
It's going to start, folks. I'm feeling good. Hey.
Crash, and I meant for it to crash. Sorry, I'm a bad person inside.
You meant for this to happen? Why did you do that to me?
Kind of to just prove something that's kind of
Yeah.
cool about operations. So if you actually go back to Gateway,
Okay.
and you look, the inventory URL there is at point
Oh, right.
what 4003. We don't have that, so it's just saying like, hey, I'm a server. I went over there and I don't know what this is.
That's really useful. So it's like if you create this gateway and you've misconfigured it, it's going to be like, hey, I'm not able to talk to this downstream GraphQL service. What is going on? That's cool. And so now what did you do? Just comment that one out for now? Boom.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. And then I went back to the other federation we were running and just made sure it had its stuff going. So I think we have to make like a small change here before we'll just move gateway up and have it recompile.
So real quick, dude, ORSM, up in chat, can we please do a stream about writing tests for Apollo client and Apollo server? Yeah, that's really good question. Maybe also with best practices. Well, I guarantee we'll try to put as many best practices in anything that we do, so that would already be included. And yeah, I get you. Writing tests is oftentimes tricky. Can I ask if you're more interested in like end-to-end testing, like integration testing, unit testing? Like what part of the API and client are you looking to test? So sorry for that derailment, but yeah, let's keep going, and then let me know, dude, and we can see what we can do for sure.
You're good. Also, looks like it's working now. So you can see servers ready for products on 4001, and gateway is on 4000. And all of a sudden there's a request hit. So gateway will always kind of ping the servers unless you're using managed federations to see what it has there. So it's just making that ping, seeing what schema it has, and then just kind of like, hey, this is what I can feed off as the gateway. So it did its little schema stitching and all of that fun jazz.
Awesome. So we're good to go. So what this means now is we've got a federated graph. So we're talking to two separate services. Well, in this case, really right now, one service, but we have our running gateway. And then we also have our running, what we're calling like our product service right now.
Exactly.
All right.
And it's actually a cool thing to do if you have like a tab open, like on Internet Explorer too soon. Like open, you can like just like go to actually 4000 and it'll look like playground like everything else. You can actually go to 4001 and it'll have a playground as well. So each federation actually has a playground that pops up with it, which is pretty cool.
So I'm actually going to go somewhere a little different. I'm going to go to Studio /dev because I'm biased as can be. But I like to use Explorer. So here we go. It's going to ask my dev graph, and let's just do federated cache. 4000 is our gateway, right?
Yeah.
So we'll create this, and so now we're basically in an Explorer type environment, or playground type environment.
Look at that fancy.
Yes, we can run our query. Oh, that's interesting.
See.
Oh, 4002. It looks like it's trying to talk to.
No, that should have worked.
Request hit API gateway. Yeah, where's it getting 4002? If we look inside of
2002 is the backend service.
So
Probably just spelled something wrong. We'll copy paste that and save. Well, we're not getting errors. Can you go back?
there we go. That fixed it.
Hey, we made it.
All right, cool. So we're in, but now you also said that if we do 4001, we should also see this, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it'll work with this graph because you're not adding a full graph. You're adding a federated graph.
Let's see.
We can try it.
Let's just see what happens. And this would be 4001. Yeah.
Yep.
So it says it's good. There we go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, and the reason I like this too is because like you can actually turn on in here query planner. So like if we go, if we go back to the gateway here to get these top products, we can turn on setting. How do I turn this on? I can't remember how to show.
Probably have to turn it on in the gateway because gateway has it turned off.
Oh yeah, so let's not even worry about it. But anyway, we could see the query plan. So we could see what our gateway plans to send to each downstream service in this request, which is pretty dope. All right, but we're up, we're running, we're good to go. What's next?
Cool. So can you hit this like 7 times? Just spam click it a little bit. Yeah,
I just hit it like 100.
Hey man, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever that does. Look at this. Boom.
Yeah, so if you go back there,
look
if you expand it a little bit, yeah, gateway, like Apollo's just polling it to see if anything changed. You can see there's a bunch of requests to the backend service.
Oh yeah, get.
Yeah, like we're not caching it all. We're just going a request into the gateway equals a request into the backend service.
Yeah, straight through. Yep, not good.
No caching. So
real quick for folks who might not know, what's happening is the Apollo Studio is polling our API for like introspection purposes. So if we change the schema, we can immediately make like we don't ever have to update Studio. Like it's just going to always reflect the latest version of the schema. So that's kind of what that's for. But yes, but aside from that, we still got a gazillion requests.
I just commented that out because that's going to be extremely noisy.
Nice.
Sorry, I had to.
No, please. Thank you. All right.
So now what we need to do is we need to start caching some stuff, right? Like we don't want everything always going to the back end. So
no,
the easiest way to do this is caching your API calls, right? Like that's you can still do your transformation logic, but your call to this actual back end, do you really need to do it? Like in this case, right? Like it's just a static item it's serving up just through an API request. So can we just not make that request every now and then?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that sounds ideal, but how do we do that, Kyle?
Yeah, there's this fancy term in computer science called memoization, which just basically means like check a cache. If your cache has something, return that. If not, run another function. And it actually fits in great with resolvers. And the easiest way to do that is I'll just in a higher level here.
If I'm still following you,
make a new file.
Boop.
We can make a memoization.js and
memoize. I love it.
We'll just call it memes.
Yes.
We'll go from
yeah,
there.
let's call it memes.
We'll come back. And this will take an inner function, right? So the function you want to cache, the get key function, because you need to know like what's your cache key for this, and then a very simple thing of a cache, right? Like just where am I storing this? And it's actually going to return you a function. And I'll explain a little bit of the magic here because it's going to look kind of weird. And we're going to spread args. So we're taking in a function, we're telling you how to get the key to get the value of that function, and then we're telling you where to cache it. And then this fancy part over here, all it is just like, hey, take the arguments that I pass it and just pass them on.
Okay.
If you were in TypeScript, you can actually make this really fancy and be typed of like the function, the parameters of this function are actually the parameters in here. But in JavaScript, you don't have to do that. So we're not going to jump down that rabbit hole of like type after type after type.
Gotcha.
Because it's just painful.
It's types all the way down. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So you can actually have your instead of like, if you look at the blog post, there's like an any everywhere. So it's like, I don't really know what this is, but it takes something, right?
Which blog post is this that you are referring
to? The caching and federations on the Apollo server, or Apollo blog. If you scroll down,
caching strategies right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see
if
that.
You open that up. Oh, I'm watching your screen, man.
Oh, I am sharing. That's right. I forgot I was still sharing. There we go. Boom. Cool. I just shared it with the whole.
Can't hear the fan on your computer.
Chatty chat. Now I got a noise gate, so now folks can't hear it. I can. It's hovering off of.
Perfect. So if you scroll down, there's like a TypeScript section towards the bottom.
Oh, oops! I just blew. Hang on. I was trying to. Whoa! Trying to make it bigger, but I clicked in the wrong window, and then I just maximized the chat, and that was weird. Okay, so keep going down. All the way. Oh, memorization.
You'll see a TypeScript block.
Yeah.
Here we go. Basically going to copy this code. So this is what we're going to write here in a second.
Okay.
Which is just a fancy thing for check a cache, see if you get something. If you don't get something, go run the function and then cache it and then return whatever you got.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. Super easy logic. Basically, get your key, check your cache. If you got something, awesome. If you didn't, run a function.
And then return results.
Yep.
Got it.
But keep going down.
Down.
There's a version of like a cache. And there's like ways you can get around.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's like in a lot of places. You can do some really crazy TypeScript stuff to like interpolate the types and functions of stuff coming in and use them as generics. We're not going down that route because it is.
This is not a how to TypeScript stream. Yeah.
You can do it. Awesome. Don't do it more than once. If you do it more than once, it's painful.
Yeah. I do love TypeScript though.
So, TypeScript's awesome. But since you already stumbled upon the actual full logic, I'm just gonna paste it in there.
Yeah.
Because
might as well.
Instead of and then we just need to export it. And I cannot for the life of me remember how to export.
It would be module Oh god, it's both of us typing and it's just freaking out. I'll let you do it because I'm following you. So
you're typing, man. I am frantically searching for how to do this right.
Why is this doing this? It's module.exports. Right? Because
last time I tried that, it didn't work. So you do you, man.
Is that not right? I could have swore it was. Oh, I gotta stop following you, or it's just gonna keep jumping over and over again. Module. Oh god. Exports equals, and then memes. We called it.
Oh, I pasted over. We'll call it memes again.
I got it.
Stay with the.
Yeah. All right. Oh memes. There. So now we should be able to require. Where will we be using this? Inside of index and federation.
Yeah.
Okay. So we come in here. Yeah. So now we should be able to say const memes equals require. With a shown. I get that right? Am I in the wrong place? Oh, it's at the root. Memorization's at the root.
Yeah, I put it up a level. We'll use it in distributed too when we get there.
Cool.
So.
All right, so I just fixed that. Boop. Oh, geez. All right. What is this STD? Oh, okay. So node cache, we're setting a TTL of what is this? 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5,000.
Pretty sure it's seconds. Let me double check.
5. Is that the amount of push-ups that you can do?
Only with one hand.
Nice.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So
Sorry,
now
folks.
that we have all this stuff,
Running joke. Sorry. All right. Okay, so we got all this. We've got memes, our cache. Now what do we do?
now we just honestly just wrap our stuff up. So we're gonna take that memes, right? And it takes. Oh, I gotta flip the screen here. I can't even remember what I just wrote.
It takes a
Uh,
function.
takes the inner function. So we'll just make things easy. Get products, right? There's a function here called get products, and it will imagine this get products. Super crazy thought, right? We're just gonna copy up that from a little bit farther down where it was.
Okay. Now we've got our
And
function.
yep. So inner function goes in here. So get products, hash key function. So this one doesn't take any items, right? So it doesn't take. Oh wait, it does take stuff because you can send in how many integers you want. So we can just say update this a little bit to take underscore and then like args,
And so,
and then this can take in like
yeah.
number.
For folks who aren't familiar with resolver, so the first object here is kind of the parent, or like the data, the sibling data related to where this resolver is going to run. So in this case, that would be query, because that's where top products would get run. And then args is like any arguments that were sent with the operation. And then, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so all I'm doing then is just splicing that, or splice is the right one, right? I always forget about
P equals permanent. Thank you, Ali Spittle, for helping me remember that. So splice when you want to permanently remove, slice when you don't.
Okay, so we're good, I think.
I don't see you doing any splice or slice. All I see is broken coded index.
Hey, we're getting there.
Where did you? Oh, up here. It's in get products. I was like, where is he writing
Yeah.
splice?
Yeah, so all we did is just basically have it take in a function or take in a variable. So then this function down here for your get your key has the same variable. So you can say like, this is my number, right?
And don't we want,
then your key becomes,
and we want non-permanent, right? So I'm going to do slice, because if we do splice, it's going to remove them from the array. So we don't want that. Oh, we do, because this is a result. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it really, okay. Got it. Got it.
Hey, Kurt, you do you, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
You know? Hey.
And then we're going to throw our cache in here, right? Because that's where we're saving it to.
Save it to the cache.
And then the nice thing is all this does is just replace all of this. My shift key's not working. Ah, there it goes.
Whoa.
And then just dot
number. What do we call it?
Is it number?
Let's go up to our type def. First.
Yeah. Args dot first.
Okay, so just a quick recap for folks, because that might have been the data graph is missing a valid configuration. Couldn't load service definition for products.
Oh. We're good.
There we go. Cool. All right. So let's see one thing. Okay, so real quick, just go over this because that might have been a lot. We wrote this kind of memoization function that can take a function and it will run this. And then it also supports sending arguments to it. Is that what the second function is for here? So it's like we can pull out different, is this like how we figure out our caching key? Is this essentially what this is?
Yeah. So the second one is your cache key function. So it basically takes the same variables or same parameters as your actual function, your inner function, but it allows you to make some type of key. So if you need to like throw out a date or make it nicer, or like in this case, if you just want to cache everything all the time for whatever reason and do that splice farther up, you can do that as well.
Got it. Yeah, so in this case, we're going to return the number, and that's going to be our cache key. And so it's going to look in the cache when we want 5, when we want 4 or 3, and return that memoized result as opposed to refetching it from with Axios. That's it, right?
Exactly.
Boom. Awesome.
Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
accurate.
and so then we can meme a single one, and then that's just gonna get the first item. So the way that it stands, or no, this is gonna get whatever we set. Like args.first is essentially equal to
Yep.
number in this case. Okay, so we're ready. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yep. Number. Got it. Yep. Args.first. Okay, so this is good. We can test this, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to run it right now.
A good question, dude. So, the question is, do you prefer Axios over Apollo Data Source REST? In my opinion, it really depends on what you're doing. I do like Apollo Data Source REST, but that really kind of fits like a CRUD model. Sometimes you hit situations where it's not as like it needs to, like a more like a more, you know, fluid or custom solution. But yeah, you could use data source REST as well. Apollo data source REST lacks on reading the header from a REST response. I thought you could read the headers for a REST response, but you do have to do some wonkiness. You have to overwrite a function inside of data source REST to get that behavior. Does Axios cache responses at all? Not by default, right?
Yeah, you can. There's like modules out there, I believe I've
Yeah.
seen, where you can cache things, but I haven't like out of the box. No.
Forced. Let's do first, and
Oh,
then
it's so nice to see Kurt struggle typing versus me right now.
so first three. So we query, boom. So we've got our response. Oh, y'all want to see something neat? Watch this. Let's do extract variables. Look at that. Isn't that so neat?
Ooh.
Isn't that neat? Yeah, I just love that. But
Honestly, that is pretty
yeah,
awesome.
I love it. It makes it so easy to share. You can inline them too, so you can just put the variables right back in, and then you want to like share a very specific query, maybe like way or like with anyone, and you could just give it to them. Anyway, long story short, I love
When you go, this doesn't work, and you go, what? And they go, oh, here's your query, and you're just like, oh no, oh no.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So boom. Let's see here. So we ran it. Let's go back to the console because I ran it twice. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, I know what's going on. It's saying it's not a string. It's being angry.
Oh, because we were returning
Oh,
number.
no. I know what it is. Where's the value? You have to stringify value. It's trying to save an object and doesn't like an object. Get key. Or wait, no.
Why would that
What's
be
it?
an object for the cache? You are returning the number.
Oh, it's not a string. Number is an integer.
It said it wants a well, it said it wanted a number or string and found object. Let's take a look at the memoization. Yeah. EFN cache. Okay, let's try it. YOLO.
Yeah, I just updated it to have a toString to just be fancy like that.
Right. Fire off just one just to see what happened. Okay, so there we are. So API get products, and now we go boop boop boop, and
you should see the Federation getting a bunch of them.
Yep.
But no back.
no backend.
There you go.
Yeah, which
So-
is amazing.
Yeah, and the awesome thing about this, and before we hop over to doing a distributed and make another Federation because we can, I want to show you one of the beauties of this approach, right? So with memoization, you can easily think of it as, right, we're going to create an onion. We're going to start layering things on top of each other, right? So the nice thing about that is, why can't you memoize a function that's already memoized and just give it a different cache, right? Like, can't you do that? Like, isn't that a normal thing?
You want to memoize a function that's already memoized, but give it a different cache.
Oh yeah, you'll see here in a second. We'll make this really.
What? All right, let's do it. My mind is blown a little bit.
We'll do it in products to make it nice and fast, right? So
I'm all for it.
we'll give this like a 50 second, just for fun. Make this a little bit bigger. We'll log something out. So
All right, so I think I lost you. Let me go see if I can follow you again. Maybe we can see what we got going on here.
Yeah,
Oop,
I'm just
there we go.
scroll up. Yeah, so all I did is create a second cache up there. There's just a new cache, and I added that one on
Oh,
line
I see.
20. Saying, hey, this is an inner function, right?
Okay.
And then we're gonna make another one. So const outer. Oh wait, we need to update this one to be longer too. So cache 2.
Oh, I see what you're. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Color me intrigued. Keep going.
Are you okay there,
Yeah,
Kurt?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of neurons firing right now, trying to process some stuff. Whoa.
I clicked the wrong
Okay.
button. That's on.
Yeah, no worries.
So this is gonna take in a number again, and we're just gonna say outer func, and we're just gonna call with number. We're gonna return that, right? And then all we do is change one more line, and there you go. Now you have 2 layers of caching,
Okay.
with one being longer than the other.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back here, and then so now if I just start firing these off. Ooh. Error.
Maybe not.
Error. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Is it?
Oh, are we using? Oh yeah, outer func, and this takes a number.
Oh, it helps if I create another caching layer.
Oh right, we're just doing. But why would this? Shouldn't this still return our results? Like, because really, this is just calling through. It's a pass through right now.
It's not returning. I don't think it's returning a promise. I think that's where you're going.
Okay. Interesting.
For cache 1 memes, a single one's perfect name for this.
All these names. All right. So we've got so now we have 2 layers of caching. Because what we've done, but are we using, okay, so here we're using cache 2. This is our longer cache. And then we've got cache 1. That's our shorter cache. So now if I come back, let's just run once. I'm still getting null. Is that cached now? No, that would have restarted. Yeah, I am still receiving null. And I'm curious as to why.
Facing.
We're going to try that.
Oh, I know why. There we go. It helps if you return from the most inner thing, right?
Okay. Now,
That's something.
yeah, let's try it again. Although it does say this data graph is missing a valid configuration, couldn't load service definitions for products. But we didn't change that. This should still be the same. We're not using outer func anywhere, it looks like.
We're using it. Oh, that would be. See if that's it.
Seems, yeah. Let's see what happens.
That's interesting. Node got angry with us, apparently.
Hey, we got products.
Hey.
We got products. But now, boom, 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 boom. Let's just see what I just did. Ooh, this one is my jam. I love this one. Oh, look at that. So outer func, we see that, but we still have never even gotten into our inner func except the first time around. Here.
Exactly.
Because it has a longer cache.
So if you think of it, bam, right? So it's perfect because you get now to do the distributed part, right? Like it's very simple because we just need to basically take that cache or whatever we're using as that distributed cache and just change it into being this interface, right? Where you have a get and a set, and it just works out. You don't need to do anything fancy or anything special. You just kind of match it to this interface, and you can basically have anything be your cache.
And it's just this one function that you wrote. And it's just like you could use it anywhere. And you got caching all over the place. So now, an
Yeah.
interesting question is like, here we're doubling up on the cache, but like, why would we want to do that? So like, maybe it's just because this is just an example, right? So we're like putting one on top of the other, but like maybe it's a situation where in the gateway we want a shorter cache time because they wouldn't know about each other. Is that what it is? So like maybe in the gateway we're caching things for a shorter amount of time, but then in between the resolver and Cache Money Millionaires.
That was
Yeah,
a good
thank you,
one.
chat.
That was perfect timing too.
um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah. So the two big reasons to do it is one, you give control back, right? So if I'm saying you're using this cache, you're doing it here, you're using it like this. Normally people don't like when you come in and yell at them about how they're gonna do their caching.
about how they're going
Um,
to do anything,
mainly,
really. I don't like to be yelled at
yeah,
at all.
yeah. So you kind of have that, right? So you can return that, and you can kind of cache per thing. So say you have one call to a service that's not too volatile, and you can say, hey, I need to cache this for a second. I don't need a big deal about it, right? But there's something on the other side that might be, maybe changes like a currency rate that changes what, like four
Every,
times a
yeah,
day, I think at
yeah.
max. Like I think every 6 hours they update. Um, so like you can cache that in theory for 5 hours in memory, and nobody's gonna say anything. Like it won't
Yeah.
matter.
See, we did
Um,
something very similar to this uh, at MLS actually, because we would have data. Like if you look at any match that was over, all of the data for it doesn't change, so you can cache those honestly
yep.
indefinitely. Whereas while a match is live or hasn't started yet, the data changes frequently. Um, it's actually funny because before it starts, the updates can come sporadically. You probably check once every hour. Maybe someone released a related article, or there was an update about like the team format, like the actual like um, uh, format of the players. What do you call that? The formation. They would decide what formation they were going to use for the game, and we would like tell that information. And then while it's happening, we needed like very fast updates to the cache. So yeah, it's interesting. That's really cool. And you could do that here with this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You could just think of them just playing games with the other team of like, we're gonna run this, we're gonna do this, and they just keep changing out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But the other benefit to it, right? So like a distributed cache normally you go outside of your system to get, right? Like you're gonna go to a Redis, a Dynamo, a Mongo, something like that. That external call can fail or it can have problems. Like there's latency, right,
Yeah.
with that network hop. In-memory cache is normally blazing fast, mainly because it just checks the spot in memory and returns that.
Yeah.
So if you get something that's really hot or something that maybe sees a lot of traffic, that putting that in memory before your distributed cache can help you out by just saving that like obnoxious amount of calls.
Yeah.
Right. So if something gets hot, you're not burning money at Dynamo or burning money in Redis to just do all of these reads and things like that. You're just using an in-memory store.
I love it. I love it. And
So
so real quick, we touched on this just a little bit, but I want to circle back because dude just asked in the chat, which is like, what is the benefit? And maybe some folks weren't here in the beginning. What is the benefit of using GraphQL Federation over just one server? Which we talked about, but you answered it really well. So if you want, I'd love to let you go ahead and take that again.
yeah, I actually just thought of another one that's great too, because we're working on some SRE type stuff and it fits in great with that. One great thing is you can serve parts of your request, right? So since you're federated, think of it as a microservice as well. If one part of your microservice goes down, all of the rest of them are still working, but that one part still doesn't work. So if you think of that in GraphQL sense, right, like a section of your graph may not work, but the rest of it will. So if you feed like one page based on one set of schema and that goes down, you can still serve the rest of your schema. You just have one thing that's having a
Yeah.
problem. It kind of helps you brown out instead of black out. But the other part of that too is you can scale, you can move things around, and it turns into, it's very much the same argument of a microservice versus a monolith. Do you put everything together and have all the problems of having everything in one spot, or do you just kind of disassociate everything and have your small pieces of everything that talk to each
Yeah.
other? Um,
And then
and that's kind of the big part of it. It's which one do you want to have?
And to even take it a step further, sometimes it's just like Conway's law at play. And when you're in, when there's a lot of teams and everyone is using GraphQL, it can be very hard to manage one schema, right? It's like if multiple people are making changes to it at the same time, ownership gets a lot harder to figure out because it's all just in one place. So by breaking this apart, you can better serve the individual teams and let them work at their own speeds. You don't have to like wait for certain things to get done. And so it just like allows you to have that kind of freedom to work with individual services. Again, what if we even take Polyglot into account here and technologies? Maybe there's a reason why JavaScript just ain't going to cut it for your GraphQL API, and you need to use another language or something, right? Like you can still talk to multiple APIs using different languages. So there's a multitude of reasons. But yeah, biggest one, especially being performance bottlenecks. Like you're saying, if something's hot, it might be getting hit a lot, and you want to scale that particular part up a lot, but then something else like maybe user, like information, not really updating or changing a lot, almost never gets called. But here you are having to scale that, at the same speed that you're scaling like your home page or product page calls. And so it's really just like to add that kind of balance. Now, the question is like, do you need to do that right away, or is it something for you? And that's just like a case by case basis. That's my favorite answer. It depends. And it's just like about figuring out, what's going to pay off for you the most in the long run, right? Like, so it does add a little bit of complexity, but the benefits that you get from the complexity, we just listed out a bunch of them.
Yeah, and to just kind of follow up on that point too is, both of them work. You can have a federated
Sure.
graph and it'll work fine. You can have a monolith and it'll work fine. Like it's just like a lot of things in tech, to be honest, really, is like which problem do you want to have? Do you want to have the problem of trying to manage a bunch of different federations and making sure, a certain node doesn't fall out causing a problem, or do you want to have a big graph that is everything is in one spot, and if something goes wrong, you could take down all of your graph? Like it's just kind of which problem are you willing
Yeah.
to have?
Yeah. And so, yeah, trade-offs. Hey, surprise, surprise. All boils down to trade-offs. All right, so this is cool. So I feel like we've covered a good part, but I really want to see like what this looks like. You were saying we could take this a step further and bring cache to the distributed layer. What does that look like?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you notice, right, we're already doing 2 layers of caching.
Yep.
And all we really have to do to make this a distributed cache that would work on something like, Kubernetes pods or whatever you're running your images on, um, all you have to do is kind of remove that second layer of cache of being in memory and change it to something like Dynamo or Redis, or something that is a distributed cache that is used more widely. And that's where that distributed folder comes in. Um, we threw that out earlier, and time to come back to it,
I
I
love
guess.
it.
Um, all I put in there from before is if you go to Mongo and like the Docker image, there's like, what does this look like? What do you have to do? It's all copy pasted from there. It is straight up the Mongo version of it. And all we have to do really is write a small wrapper around our Mongo to make it kind of fit the same interface as it did before, or not the same interface as it did before, but the same interface as the other cache, right? So you have a get that takes a key and a get that takes a key and a set that takes a value and a key.
Okay. All right. So do I need to spin up Docker at this point?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. We can just use nodemon. While you're doing that, I'm gonna copy paste the code I have from the support blog post. Just in the interest of time, we're already almost at like an hour and a half,
sure.
so don't need to have people stay here forever.
Although we do love y'all joining us. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm starting up Docker. So that's just going to take a second. My next question is, I could also spin up Kitematic. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And I could have MongoDB here running in a second. Because I don't think I have like Mongo installed locally on my computer. But I would need that for this, right? Or is it going to pull down?
No.
Oh, it's going to pull down a Docker container, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So then we're good.
It'll just pull down Docker, the code I pasted in will connect to that Docker instance.
Perfect. So Docker is now up and running. So we are good to go.
Rip Kurt's computer fans.
Hurry
Immediately
up.
turning up, probably.
Yeah, actually, it's maintaining about the same. Oh, CPU did just go up 5%.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's watch it. Oh, it went back down 3%. Oh, back up 6%. It's like it's up and down, folks. This is a roller coaster ride. I can't take it anymore. Oh, it keeps going up.
So if you want to look, we can quickly
Let's
go
get
through
it.
this while we're waiting for
Yeah, let's do it.
your Docker to go crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I just used the. If you go up to the top, I'll just walk through the top to the bottom quick. Uh, Normal Mongoose setup. Mongoose is just an ORM for Mongo. Makes life a little bit easier. It'll connect. All that fun stuff of we have a very secure password and very secure username.
Oh yeah,
Make sure it works.
super secure.
Um, yeah, on connection, it just tells us it connected. It tells us if it had a problem. If it has a problem, it tells us what the problem is. Um, Again, super fancy stuff. We created a schema. So this is just a super basic caching schema with a cache key, a value, and a TTL. And then the Mongoose, you have to create that model so you can use it.
Wow,
And then we just
been so long since I've used Mongoose and Mongo. That's so funny. I
yeah,
love it.
it's like one of the first ones when you Google it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I like
Um,
Mongoose. It's just been a long time.
yeah. So now we actually make our Mongo cache, and all we do for that is we create a get method and a set method on a function. Once you give a TTL, uh,
Yeah,
and it just matches the other one, right? It'll stringify a value and put it in Mongo,
yeah.
and when it finds one, it'll pull it out, destringify it, and pass it off as the object.
And so just for folks, like we created that memo or memes function, which is essentially doing the same thing, but the difference here is that was in memory, but now this data will actually be stored in Mongo. So like in a more I guess like stable database, right? So like this data could stick around. This means because if it's federated or distributed, maybe you have multiple services all talking to the same cache. Now everyone can benefit from that data being in one cache. You could also use like Redis or Memcache to accomplish this, a couple other things, but Mongo does have a permanence that Redis and both Memcache lack. But,
You're actually gonna love this, Kurt.
ooh,
We actually don't have to change much of anything in memoization. All we
ooh.
do is, if you remember, there was a
Oh, it
third
takes
value it took cache.
and
So
we
we
could,
just pass in instead of the memory caches, we pass in Dynamo, or in this case Mongoose. All of
wow.
a sudden, you don't have to do it. I mean, it's gonna be like a 2-line change for
Yeah,
us.
that's
We're
amazing. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it.
So now that we have this, we can go back to our index file in the other place. Uh, and const. See if my IntelliSense works in a second. Acquire. Oh, you can do it, computer. There you go.
Yay. It's funny watching it because I don't see your IntelliSense, so I just get to wait to see if it auto completes.
That's the hope, right?
Yeah.
So we have right, and all we need to do is just instead of making a second, yeah, second cache was the one with the long one. We make a mongoose cache. And I believe it was just called TTL,
I think, yeah, we
right?
can jump back and check, but it's TTL in MS.
Yeah. So look at that nice coding of telling us how long it's going to be. Uh, so just to make stuff easier,
So we got
5
5
seconds.
seconds. Yeah.
Actually, make that 15, just to make our life a little bit easier.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, we forgot to install. Uh, we were doing so well.
What did we forget to install? Oh, Mongoose.
We kind of need to do that. Copy that. I don't know if this is gonna work from over here, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, it helps if you use the right command too.
Yeah. I do that all the time. Or I'll do like npm add, and it's like, I don't know what that is. It'd be hilarious if they changed the message to be something like wrong package manager, like throw shade at you for trying to use commands for the other one. Just say, if you're working at npm, free right there, go ahead and take it.
Take this one to the team.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
yeah, we would expect this though to crash because there is no MongoDB to talk to you right now. Is that correct?
Are you running this?
Well,
Did you Docker?
I didn't Docker start it yet.
Close.
So
was it that, or was it can't find? Oh, it can't find mongoose. That's why it's. We're actually gonna move this mongoose file over then. Sorry, I'm just playing with your system at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You lost me there. Okay, so we moved that up to the root. I get that. But I still have not run Docker. Well, I mean, Docker's running, but I didn't run Docker Compose. Yeah.
That's on me. All I did is move it. So instead of it being in that distributed folder, I just moved that actual caching logic down one.
You have
So it's just code.
you have mono cache. Is this supposed to be Mongo?
Probably. Oh no, it is mono cache. Apparently, I can't type and spell. So
That's awesome. Okay, well, whatever. Mono cache, we got it. Okay, so that's there. So should we try and run this now, or do I need to run Docker? I'm confused on that part.
yeah, we just need to run Docker Compose up.
Okay, so distributed. That's inside of distributed, right?
Yep.
I cannot. Oh, because I need a CD up one. Okay. Docker Compose. Oh. It has been a long time since I've really had to like use Docker too. My goodness. I love Docker. But this is going to take a while because I don't have this. Oh.
Yeah, no, these are pretty lightweight images for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I finally got my chance.
What do I do?
Hey, Will said, shouldn't you be working? Calling out. Got called out in chat. Slacking. You got name dropped already. That's amazing. Yeah, you missed it. Missed it well.
Black Friday YOLOs, man.
Oh, yeah.
Only the best type.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so what's...
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, while you're doing this, I'm going to actually take and pull over the inventory federation and start setting that up.
Nice.
Which looks extremely similar. That end up finishing?
It's working. It's going. It's Mongo Express database connected. So it's working. It is spun up. It is now up. Okay. So we're up. So we've got another terminal here. So we could do whatever we want now. Oh, there is a GraphQL implementation for Go. And why can't I remember what the name of it? There's a whole oh, and I used to have the URL to this saved somewhere. There was like a whole bunch of Go packages related to like GraphQL stuff. No, this is not it. Graph Gophers? Oh, maybe it is. Yes, this would be the one. Yeah, so GraphQL Go. This is the one most folks seem to use. I have not used it personally, so I can't speak to how well it is. But a lot of folks who use Go use this. So this is where I would definitely recommend starting. Okay, and then so jumping back. Okay. Yeah, so it's a good question too, but yes, it will work with Federation because really it's just talking to the API. So as long as you have a GraphQL API with a schema that can be introspected, you'll be able to be able to create the schema. You should be able to do it. Oh, actually, that brings up an interesting question, which is the build federated schema part. You have to look into it. I don't know about the support for Go, but I will follow up for you if you want. You can ping me on Twitter at Kurt Kemple, and I will check it out and get you the specifics. I'll even try and find you examples of folks who are doing it. So ping me if you can, and I will get you that information. All right. So we're connected to Mongo. You've spun this up. I missed this. So what are we doing now?
Yeah, we're trying to get it. For some reason, Gateway is starting too fast.
Got it.
We might have to split out Gateway and run it.
Got it. Oh, because Mongo is connecting after everything starts up. Is that the issue?
Yeah. We'll just We'll just pull this out and make it its own thing. So if we save that, now when we run yarn start,
That's going to start our services. And so now let me create another terminal here and give you access to it. There you go. Now you got write access. Oh, you need a CD into
yeah, you're good. I got
cool.
it. Now we want to do yarn start gateway. And
Boom.
did we
Yep.
make it?
Now
Hey, we
it's
made
running.
it.
Okay. Okay, so
Okay.
we've got this thing spun up, it's running. So if we come back over here, so we're still attached to this. So running this query should work, right? And we haven't really changed much. Did we already point this at the Mongo cache? Did we ever switch that out in one of our cache implementations?
I think we did.
It's still
Oh no, there we go. Yeah, no, we
good.
did, right? Because
Yeah,
remember, all we had to do was change how we created that second
that's right.
cache, and we were
Oh,
golden.
that's right. And we did that. Absolutely did that. We did cache 2 and it's working. So if we come back over here, we've run this, we get our top products. We can run this a few more times and we are golden. So if we go to here, we'll be able to see setting Mongo value, and then it's hitting the request, but not rerunning our function. And so that's what we want. And when we wait 15 seconds for it to pass, we would then see it run again because that's what we set as our time. So let's see that. It's probably been about 15 seconds, right? Boop.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Right? Yeah, setting Mongo val. There it is. What? That's wild.
Yeah. So that's all you have to do, right? And then the beauty of this is if we take almost this exact same code, and I will quickly spin up the other file.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I want to flip back over here because something else that we can do that's pretty interesting. It wouldn't really matter here, but I'm really big on the inline tracing that you can turn on here, which just blows me away. But we would have to add the plugin from Apollo servers. I don't feel like doing that right now. But it's really cool. Like, so if you were testing your caching, like let's say you're talking to actual services, but you're running this locally, you could actually introspect, like get your tracing timing right here and see how long your requests are taking throughout the entire resolver chain, which is pretty dope. And look, so the graph must be down. We must have done something. It's not currently started because it's unavailable right now. Also pretty dope. A lot of dopeness. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about dev graphs. These are free to use, folks. So like, yeah, you just have to go to studio.apollo-graphql.com/dev and you can use Explorer for any of your really GraphQL services.
Okay, we're almost there.
I actually kind of want to try this just for curiosity. Oh, stop highlighting everything. So where are you at? So we got this. You got this running? Are we good now?
Almost. We are. Actually, we can just return
inventory. I love it.
Yeah. And I think this can just return data. It'll be okay.
So I've broken things for you. So if it doesn't work, it's because I'm adding code right now. So that's our require. So then I need to flip back over for 1 second. Grab this.
Are we?
What? Yeah, I just need one sec. I want to put in this tracing real quick. Go to server. Okay, start that up. So that should be working. That's there. So now I can crank the.
Okay, and we just need to do a quick uh, Federation. So you're on start. Let's see, 2 things pop up or 3 things now. Ooh, what blew up? Throw air. Oh,
Cannot
address is
find
already in use.
Mongo cache.
Oh, yeah, helps when you rename things if you rename them in multiple places.
But it did say already in use. Oh, when you copied over the new service, did you keep the port 402?
Probably. Should probably just.
Or maybe because concurrently they didn't like properly shut down?
Uh, Give it a sec. I copied a lot of stuff. We're like halfway between some things here.
Got it.
Oh, I was on 3.
Yeah.
That would help.
Oh, so question about handling uploads like in Altair. I actually need to check out Altair. I'm not familiar with it, but I don't think you could just do file uploads right from Explorer, but I also don't want to say no. I'm just not aware. That's another thing I'll have to find out for you. I apologize. So chill, no chill. Thank you for the follow. Oh, and also I missed this one. AF Shinator. Thank you for the follow. All right.
Now, if this one doesn't work, it's on you.
Boom.
Product price. Oh, it's marked. So.
Ooh. It looks like there might
don't
need to
need any of
save
these.
something inside of inventory.
Yep, we did. Should pull. Second. Error changes could not define products. Connection refused. Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, it's just not ready. It wasn't ready. Gateway. Should be able to just change something bad. Save that.
Huh.
Service can't load products 4001. Something causing like that to like, freak out?
Well, I saw something was unused. Where's the products? Products was in. It could be what I did. Might have broken it because this is the products API, and I added the inline trace plugin. I wonder if that's what's breaking it. Hang on, let me comment this out and see if that in fact fixes it. No.
Well, you gotta like double restart. Or did you already change something? Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see why that would have. Do we need to change the starting order? What's going on in our other? This is running. Oh, wait a minute.
4002, 4001. That's weird.
Connection refused to 4001. Well, this is our federated API. What's inventory using?
4003.
Yeah, 4003, and then the other one's 4002 or 4000. So get
products.
Yeah.
We just comment out products. Does it work?
No, I think they're
that's interesting.
both called products.
Well, products is on 4001.
Oh, right.
So if we just commented out the new stuff, the old stuff should work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's just stop these and see if we just do the good old, stop and restart. Oh. Da-da. Kemple app. Okay, so those 3 spun up. Now if we go back to this one, turn start gateway.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, would you look at that?
But now I want to see if we can comment this in. If I do this, is this going to break everything? If I save this?
No, you just got to do both of them at the same time. So if we like uncomment that, need to uncomment this.
No, it is that.
Oh. What if we... Interesting, though. But it looks like it just continuously breaks itself until you restart it. That's weird. What in the world?
I think we need to restart the other services.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if tracing has to be configured all the way down.
Yeah, you might have to just put that on the... Yeah, it looks like it... Oh, it helps if I have it uncommented, too.
I was going to comment it out. Let's not do that because it's detracting from what we're... So let's get rid of that.
Okay. Save that. We have 2 services standing.
Yeah.
Cool. We finally... We're
right.
back. We're back.
So let me turn this off here so that that's probably not helping. And then let's boom, we're connected. All right, yeah, we're back. We're good to go. Hey, okay.
We're good.
So now if I get price, right? Is that the deal here? We're going to talk to another service.
We're going to get inventory, but it looks like it doesn't like that. What? Sorry, I had to take everything down.
You're
again.
good. Question from Dude.
For some reason it's
yeah, we've got 2 questions. Oh, one more. How do you handle authorization and Explorer while developing? That's a good point. So yeah, I mean, if you're talking to your production graph, you're going to have to use like authentication. However, if you're using something like a dev graph and you're running locally, you can configure it to like, I mean, I don't know. You could faux your authentication, like have a JWT that you use that's like basically a test token. Or if you're in development, you could turn off like the need for a JWT. There's a couple options that really is kind of the same issues you're going to hit with any authenticated API. You either got to have like a valid token. Another thing you could do is have a test user whose token time stays valid longer than all the others. I know nothing about your setup, but I mean, token expiration is configurable. So in development mode, you could set way longer token expirations is another possible solution there. Using mock data and not actually making the full requests, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, those are a couple options. I don't know. What do y'all do at StockX to handle
that? We have you mint a lot of JWTs right now. And the big thing that we do is we have taken a pretty decent stance that the graph doesn't handle authorization. It shouldn't be in charge of NC logic, right? Like that, like it shouldn't tell you what you can get and what you can't get, because all it takes is you getting around it, and then like everybody's screwed. So each service has to kind of deal with that. We just curry it all around.
Yeah. Actually, very funny that you bring this up. So Thursday, Mandy Wise is going to be on the Auth-O stream, literally talking about dealing with JWTs and federated graphs and how to parse that like in Express and pass that context down to other services so that you can do fine-grained control at the service level. So what a time to ask that question. That's Thursday at noon PST on twitch.tv/auth0. So definitely check that out. And that I don't think that's going to answer your first question, which is like, how do I make it easier? But yeah, I think longer expiration is the thing. Yeah, scopes and other claims. Exactly. Yeah. So once you're in that world, it's just longer expirations, but you want to be careful with that, especially with testing, making sure that whatever you're doing, that those tokens remain only viable for like a testing environment. You're not testing in production with them, because you end up losing a token, forget about it, don't delete it, it never expires, and the surefire way to have some trouble.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we have it all working now. We've made it to the promised land.
We made it. Let's go check. Let's go find out.
So if you go to 4,000, it should still work.
Yes.
Hey. But you're actually not grabbing anything from the other federation. The other one is called in stock.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fancy. Ooh.
So now I fire it off. and we got null.
Oh, so close. We were so close.
So close.
Um,
I don't know what Donna is making for dinner, but I can smell it up here now, and it is just, oof. It smells so good. I'm sorry. That is a derailment, but I'm so far away from the kitchen, and to be able to smell, it smells amazing. All right, let's keep going. What is the issue? Everything looks correct.
it's probably just not returning the right thing at data.
Or
to be
did we
honest with
hit?
you.
Or did we hit the cache?
Oh, I know what it is.
Did we hit the inner or outer cache? No, it's been a while since. You know what it is?
Yeah, I remember what it is.
I will follow you. You have to destructure some data off of here.
No, so in federations, when you do these things called reference resolvers, it's basically a fancy way of you saying like this object is defined somewhere else, like somewhere else in my graph defines this object, and I want to bolt something on, or I want to add something. And what's happening is it's going one by one to these reference resolvers. And instead of us kind of piecing it together, we're just returning this like mass amount of data instead of saying like, hey, you're in this like product, go find me this thing, right? It's sharing that, right?
Okay.
Res dot, is there? Oh, in the. Oh wait, let's see. This is all of the products. We want to just grab out.
Do you want to just console log it and see what we're even dealing with?
It's the array that's in backend for the base service.
Oh, got it. Okay.
We just need to grab one. So
oh, I see. I see.
Index of object is it? I really don't. What did I do before?
Are you doing like object.values or something? Are you trying to like pull out the values of something?
Here's what I was trying to do. If I could, think for myself.
Bro, you're talking about my everyday. Earlier today, I was literally trying to think of a word or a phrase, and I just couldn't. I was yelling at myself. I was like, "Work, brain! Like, what is going on?" But it was funny.
Come on, you can do it, computer.
So, subscriptions do not work with the current implementation of Federation. There's a lot of work being done on Federation to, one, just make it better, but two, will address subscriptions. However, there's a lot of things that you can do. There are two really patterns that I am aware of for doing it. One is using a pub sub system and getting your updates through that. Another thing that I've seen people use is just having a separate subscriptions GraphQL server. When you configure, especially if you're in Apollo, when you configure Apollo client, you can specify the URL, like a different path for your WebSockets versus your queries and mutations. So you point your subscriptions to a different path, and that's all of that server does is serve those subscriptions. And basically you treat it like a webhook server. So you just post into with the exact data that would be needed with the subscription and send it down. Now that gets tricky because you end up in a world where you have to share types and share definitions. And so you have to think about what that looks like between those two services. I do like these two patterns in a sense, because again, it decouples your concerns, as in like you might need to scale subscriptions for some things faster than you need to scale the rest of the service. It's not getting as many queries, or maybe like mutations are happening from outside sources. But long story short is no, not directly in the current implementation of Federation. And again, I'll get you all the information on this as well. So if you ping me on the old Twitters, I can get you a very detailed doc on how to do the implementation with the pub sub route. Again, Mandy Wise wrote that up, and I wish I had the link on hand, but I don't. But I do know where to get it. I just know it would take me too long to go find it now. Okay, so is this working? Did it work?
Yeah. Sorry, I updated it. it bothered me that inventory said it hit the product server. So now we
Oh
show up.
no! Oh no!
So
Find is not a
close.
function.
Find is not a what?
Oh,
Find is most definitely a function.
well, you're putting it on the dot then. So find would not, because that's
Oh.
technically the promise chain, so.
JavaScript, why you gotta do me like this?
Yes, there we go.
We're getting there.
What?
Then for
One
some
day? Yeah.
just like restart it and it works fine because JavaScript.
YOLO.
Now
No!
find
Cannot read property find of undefined. What?
well, that's a different one. That's defined.
It's saying find. So whatever data on.
Yeah.
Or yeah, whatever you put. So data is not defined. It's saying data is not defined. Is it not destructured?
This is the exact call we're getting from the other one.
Oh, let me go
Like-
check. Hey, closer. New error.
Oh yeah, this is because the gateway didn't restart. I got you. Give it a hot. And there you go. Now if you hit it, you should see it's still like data's not defined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that?
Not defined. Let's console log it out. When in doubt, console log it out. Like, let's just console log data. See what we got going in there. You good. You can keep typing there. I got you.
You got the restart?
No, I'm doing the, I'll do the restart, but right now I'm just adding scope so that your function calls. I already did. Cool. Oh, we both did return. Sorry. It was like slow. There we go. It still says
The
it's,
screen share Apple problem.
I know. It still says it's not saved on my side. There we go. Okay. It's saved. Let's go flip back over. I think we got this.
Oh, so close. Got to restart the gateway one more time.
We're going to get it. And this is going to be perfect timing.
Okay, now we're ready. Hit it.
It still says find is undefined. Oh, wait, but we want to see what it is. Yeah, data's undefined. So what's up with that? Maybe take off the destructuring and then, like, I know that's what the, you copied over, but I'm just V curious.
Oh, yep, that's what it is. Helps when you think.
Well, this is very, you know, we're like trying to pull the, hey, if you know what this is a case for TypeScript. So
Straight up.
seriously, these are the problems you avoid when you use TypeScript. Like, there's the learning curve of it, but once you get over that, this is what TypeScript prevents. You know.
Do you remember that Super Bowl ad from like 3-4 years ago when they're like,
Boom.
"This is a Tide ad"?
Yeah.
Do you remember? This is like the same thing here. It's like, this is a TypeScript stream.
It really
You
is.
thought this was GraphQL. This is a TypeScript stream.
Yep. I'm just trying to convince you to use TypeScript. But all jokes aside, like, I mean, it really does solve those problems. But all right, so it's working. So we've got this. So now I can fire this off.
Yeah.
We're talking to multiple services. We've got a distributed multi-layer cache and a cache that is persisted.
Exactly. All of the things, right? And it even prints out nicely like, oh yeah, we should probably remove nice logging.
I like the logging. Let's leave it in there for everyone who comes after us. Yeah.
But yeah, so now it actually shares. So the cool thing about this, right, is whichever service gets that first, whatever the query plan says go faster and run this one first, actually runs the query, will store it in Mongo, and then the other one, instead of actually calling the service, just picks it out of Mongo and says,
Yeah.
I got this, locally caches it, and then he goes forward. So these requests actually boil down to one to the service, and then you actually get both federations to return.
That's right. And so it just goes to show, like, and really, I mean, this is, yeah, we're dealing with a federated graph. So like, and what we've implemented is a flexible Oh, Faraday Academy just raided with a party of 27. Y'all with the raids today. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Absolutely amazing. Yo, what is up? Thank you for the raid. What's up, Jared? We love y'all for coming by. Thank you so much. But yeah, yes, it to have such a flexible caching mechanism set up, you can implement this across your servers, across your federated graphs, at the resolver level. Very easy to do. And maybe let's just do a run through. We just got 27 people here. So, Gwen likes graphs or something. Yes. We like graphs. But yes.
One
Oops.
about it too, though, is say tomorrow you hate Mongo for whatever reason, and you're just like, I'm gonna go, buddy, and go straight Mongo. It's like a 2-line change in here with a new file, and all of a sudden, all of your caching still works.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're in Redis or Memcache or like whatever other, pick your service, right? Wherever you want to store your data. DynamoDB, doesn't matter. Yeah, so let's just real quick, let's do a recap. Let's like talk about what we did from the start through the finish. I'm following you, so if you want to even like move around, let's just do a quick recap of how we're doing. Well, you don't have to physically move. I mean, you can if you want. Hey, thank you for the follow too, Faraday Academy. Much appreciated.
Gotta close all my things.
Yeah.
So it's weird because you're like super zoomed in, and I don't know where.
Here, how about this?
I gotta.
We can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Still legible.
No, you're good. I'll just stop maximizing my thing, if my Mac allows me to. Hey, there we go.
Cities are like graphs. I learned that from school. Actually, that's like, yes, cities are like graphs. Connections between people are like graphs. Pretty much anything can be represented as a graph. Harry Limit,
okay.
Thank you for the follow too. Love y'all. All right.
Are you going towards infinity for that limit?
Yeah.
Sorry, my inner math nerd is slowly coming out. Yeah, so we have an awesome federated graph that based off the Apollo Federation demo that takes products and inventory and just does the thing, right? So this is all a gateway does. It just points at them and says, go load these graphs and turn them into one. In our products federation, we have this thing called where was it? Memes, which is actually our memoization function because who doesn't love good meme? And make Mongo cache.
Yeah, exactly.
These two things, basically, we just create them. There are caches that we end up throwing things in. We made a super basic schema that is based off, again, the Apollo Federation stuff. We have our most internal get products call. We then memoize that with our longer running, Mongo based cache. We then wrap that again because why not?
Yeah.
In another function that wraps it in memory cache, just for good measure in case Mongo doesn't work for whatever reason. And then we just pipe that into our resolver, running it just like a normal function, and we spin up a federated service with all
and that. There it is.
We're done. And then we just do that literally exact same thing.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. And so it's repeatable. You could do it for each service. And now maybe let's go into a little bit about like how this caching works. And you were talking about, I really liked how you're talking about how it's like an onion and like just add layers of that.
Yeah. So are you still following?
Yeah. When you go, I go.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong. That's on me. I gotta get there, right? So this is literally all of our caching logic. This is it. We're 22 lines in of massive caching logic.
Too much.
And it's just simple. You take a function. You take a function that gets you a key for that function's return. You take a cache. You make a cache key, and you say, hey, does my cache have this value? If it doesn't, move on. You call the inner function, and you get whatever value that is, and you store it in your cache, and you return the value. You do get a value, you just return it, and you're done. Right?
Yeah.
The beauty of this is the dissociation between your cache and the actual function. So if you ever, like we said at the start, right? If you ever get a different cache and you want to change your cache, all you do is just swap out that last parameter, and all of a sudden you're caching in a different
Yeah,
spot.
and as long as your cache meets this interface, the most simplest interface you could possibly have, a get and a set, just taking a key and a value, and as long as that interface is met, you're good to go.
This is a TypeScript stream.
I had to squeeze in.
You laugh, but we literally, like, if you make this into a TypeScript library,
It is an interface.
you can actually say, like, hey, it'll tell you.
Whoa, you just broke up there. That got real weird for a second. It was like tell you, but
Should I turn on the echo as
yeah.
well? We turn on the echo and just see what happens.
Whoa, that's wild. Do it again. Turn it on and say TypeScript stream.
This is a TypeScript stream. We're having way too much fun with this.
I love it. That's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, this is super cool. Okay, and I think that kind of covers it. Like, that's our wrap up. So I guess I'll leave just a minute or two for the chat. If you had any last minute questions on this, check it out. But yeah, people appreciate the echo. I need to get that. Now it seems like that's something I need to incorporate here. Folks appreciate the echo.
You should just get one of those, like, guitar pedals and just, like, wire it up. Like, if you stand and, like, lean in, it just reverbs your voice.
Yeah, joined too late to have questions. Yeah, for real. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, so also, but the code, actually, let's share the repo again, if you don't mind. If you could grab that link and drop that in chat so people can kind of see, just the base of where this project is. Also, since everyone's here, there's an accompanying article that covers this. So why don't I grab that while you grab that?
I also linked the better version of everything, so all of this stuff works way nicer and way fast. The one we played with today. So if you've been here from the start and you want to yell at me, I completely understand.
Seeker of Truth asks, is TypeScript even legal? And you know what? I don't care, because if it's illegal, then I don't want to be legal.
Is JavaScript legal then?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a hard line of, like, I think this is legal or not.
Yeah, I figured as much. But yeah, TypeScript is awesome. It is legal. But to be honest, like, I love TypeScript, but I don't really use it enough. And I'm actually pretty early in my TypeScript journey. I really get caught up once we start getting into templates and, like, I don't even know what they're called in TypeScript. Is that right? Is it a template?
I think they're generics.
Generics.
It's all the same thing. They all basically allow you to template your code so you're not writing the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's some awesome stuff you can do. Like, you can infer types.
Oh yeah.
TypeScript compiler is awesome. And
that's what I'm saying. Like the IntelliSense that you get from it, the all of the relief of, like, the simple errors. And y'all missed it. We were going around trying to check the data structure of things, and it's like TypeScript just solves all those problems for you. It removes an entire layer of testing that I've seen people do. I've oftentimes come on projects and there'll be, like, unit tests at making sure data's in the right structure and the right type. And I'm just like, hey, like, TypeScript can remove that from you. You know, how fast can I switch from Java to TypeScript? Is JavaScript Java? Yeah.
Just had a script, right? So I just changed my, is it .java? It's been so long since college since I worked in Java.
What's the file extension? I think it is .java, right?
Just added a script to the end of that. It's JavaScript, right?
Yeah. JS docs can do that too. That is cool. As far as, like, oh yeah, right, because you can just put at the top in the docs, like, what is the type of this and all this stuff. Yeah, that's true. You can actually do it with that as well. But yeah, what's Monka? That I'm not familiar with. Maybe that's just TypeScript.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's amazing. Awesome. All right. Well, I think, like, with that about wraps us up. Let's switch it over. So where can folks find you? On the interwebs, if they want to know more about Kyle, where do they go?
There's two places. So hit me up on Twitter. Force me to use Twitter.
Twitter handle down
I
here.
Suck at using Twitter. So I really just use it to troll.
Can confirm.
Everblade every now and then.
Yeah. I like your Twitter.
But there's that. Hey, every now and then they're okay. It's like every seventh one is good, and then it's just like we should just curb the other six. that, and then I wrote a personal blog, so I'll grab that. It's actually through Netlify, who's awesome. I just redid all the styling actually. Oh, it didn't.
Wah,
It's
wah,
my browser just.
wah.
Oh, okay. My browser just cached it.
We'll drop that link in chat. There you go. Check it out,
That
folks.
one. I just spent a lot of time on Figma, just poking around and making cool things.
I love
So
Figma.
hopefully, everyone likes coffee with a code symbol in it.
Yeah, nice. I just redesigned the stream layouts that I do for our D&D stream in Figma, so I'm excited for that. I'm actually going to stream that later. We're going to play tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. If y'all like D&D, yeah, I might as well just drop it in here. It's Twitch TV Functions and Dragons, because we nerds like that. But yeah, if y'all like D&D, come check it out, and you can see our new stream layouts. It's probably the one thing that I'm pretty decent at designing. I actually designed these stream layouts. Oh, fun fact, most of the stream layout that you see here is powered by React and GraphQL. So the chat that you see on the layout, the title and all that stuff, all this is coming from a GraphQL API. And we've got all kind of stuff, fun stuff in here that we like to do. Like memes and sounds and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, but sometimes it does that on the first sound, and I don't know why, but that was like now sounds aren't working.
Hey man, I'm just happy to be like live again instead of like on a 3-second delay.
Yeah, but what happened to sounds?
Ooh, did you not put that overlay in?
No, the
People are
overlay is
probably
here.
looking at us like, what?
Yeah,
Putting bop
yeah.
and
What
whoosh
does
and
bop and whoosh mean? No, yeah, the sound should be working. Something's going on. I broke that. Oh, Jesus. Ooh.
I can't hear any of this, so it's great to just watch you freak out. I have no idea what's going on.
What the fudge? Yeah, well, no more of that.
Yeah. Of course I can hear that one though, like the one I can hear.
Yeah, well, that was from Stream Deck, so you can hear that because it came out of Stream Deck. I think my computer is just like crapping the bed on me right now. It's like you're running Docker, you're running Mongo, you got Stream going. I got like 15 freaking browser sources embedded in this layout. It is what it is. Yeah, but we have lots of fun with this. So we have lots of fun on the stream. Kyle, thanks again for joining me, walking me through this. This was awesome. I learned a ton today. Very exciting for me. I hope y'all learned something. Again, Federated Academy, thank you for the raid. Thank you for everyone for your questions and for hanging out. If you ever want to know more about what we're doing, I think we have, what is it, schedule? You could just, it's a Google Calendar if you want to sign up for more streams. We stream 2-3 times a week, sometimes more when I'm feeling kind of silly. And yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else for folks at home?
Come look at StockX. Come join the team. Come poke at us.
If you want, drop a link.
Come look at.
You drop a link in chat while I look for someone to raid.
One in there because honestly, the site's powered by GraphQL, so awesome.
Yeah, come on, Twitch, load up.
But no, bring me for what's been like a 2.5 job script and making it work at that.
I love it. I love it. I'm trying to find who are some tech folks that are live right now. And can you just like search for a category? Yeah, you can.
And normally it just like it's like the second one after World of Warcraft.
Oh, yours is World of Warcraft. My top one is it shows me like D&D streams all the time. But yeah, let's see what we got.
Nice.
All right, so we've got number 1. Let's go. Okay. Let's see here. We've got PC building and chilling. That sounds kind of cool. I'm trying to look for some code. AMA happy hour. Oh, this has got code. What are y'all building over here?
I have the duck stream. We could live on a nice. I don't see the duck. Oh, there it is. Relax with us. Our wonder. Nope. It's like I have mine like minimized on my side.
Yeah.
It looks a lot.
I'm trying to find like some web development streams. I'm really bad at doing this, by the way. Normally I have Blades on here with me, and he'll find all of the folks to raid. Oh, here we go. Search by text. This is what I want. Web development. See what we got. I should just send everyone to a Dungeons and Dragons stream. That's what I should do.
You should just start your stream, what, like 3
Oh,
hours?
y'all want to
before you
do?
Go look at.
Let's do. We could do. I think GitHub is streaming right now.
Oh.
That's pretty interesting. Let me open this up. But I'm curious. Is this one? That muted? Please be muted. Sorry, I'm waiting for this to load, and that is taking a while. Yeah, my computer is not happy. Well, this is in Spanish. So I think they're doing like a current Spanish stream. See what else we got. DevOps work. Fire Labs. I'm not really seeing a ton of stuff. Test project. Chat app things. That could be. Oh, here we go. Nope, I got it. I know who we're raiding. I did not know that B. Dougie was live. Yeah, we're going to raid B. Dougie. Brian Douglas, he is a dev advocate over at GitHub, does a lot of awesome stuff. And right now he's working with some Storybook.js and Tailwind stuff. Let's go see what he's up to. So let's do that. I'm gonna start that raid. All right, cool. So that's gonna go over, and then we bring everybody over there. Yo, Salmon Tartar, thank you for the follow. Max Soli, thank you for the follow. Did I miss anyone else? Seeker of Truth, thank you for the follow. Harry Limit, thank you for the follow. Faraday Academy, thank you for the follow. Seriously, thank you all for coming by and hanging out with us. Let's go raid B. Dougie and make his day. All right, we'll see you all over there. Later, everyone.
See ya.